It's Storytime Tea. That's me, and today I'm here to tell you a story about how I dated an only child. I probably said this in a previous video, but me and only children, we don't, for real, most of the time. Some only children is kind of different depending on the situation, but it's just like 90% of the time the only children have a certain character trait that I do not like. And so I've only dated an only child one time. I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure this story in particular was the one person that I dated that was the only child. So it's kind of like being the only child and like being the only child in your household, kind of similar. And like he had a sibling, I think he had like an older sibling, but it wasn't by like the mother, it was by the father, and he never lived with them. I think that's the, but it's just like it's all the same. And so y'all know me, 12 brothers and sisters, like I was never the only child. But basically I'm gonna set the scene for y'all, okay? It's in my earlier years. Won't say when exactly, but it's in my earlier years, okay? I was little, okay? I was little. I'm gonna say it was before I got out of college. I'm not gonna say exactly when. I'm gonna just say it was before I got out of college. And so, at this point in time, I lived with someone. So you probably gonna be able to guess the year at this point if I say who I lived with. But yeah, at this point in time, I lived with people. Okay, and it was just like I always grew up with my siblings. Like I think it was only like a 2-year time period where my siblings weren't in the house with me, and that was like from 7th grade to 8th grade or something. I think that was what it was when I lived with my dad after that fight that I told y'all about. And so that was the only time period where I wasn't around a bunch of kids, because as I told y'all, I got 12 brothers and sisters, and then my sister had children early, and so she was like at my mom's house sometimes, and she would have her kids and stuff like that. So it was just like it was always a bunch of people. And so like I lived a certain type of way, and this person didn't understand the way I was as a person, because they always lived by themselves. Like it was always like just them and their mom. And so like a lot of the times like we would get into like little situations where I would just be like, bruh, you the worst. And it wasn't even that they were the worst. But at the time, that's what I thought. But like, after like some years went past and I met a bunch of only children, I realized, oh, they just be like that. So like, I'm gonna go ahead and start y'all off. So yeah, I was living with some people, like my family at the time, and I think it was like 5 of us in the house at the time, because yeah, it was like 5 of us in the house, and I was like not the oldest but not the youngest, whatever, doesn't matter. So I was dating this guy, but it was like a baby date, because you know like when you younger it's like y'all together but y'all not together. It's like y'all is together if y'all end up being together in the future, but like if y'all don't end up being together in the future, y'all don't really count each other as exes because y'all was so young and you're not really worried about it. Like it wasn't like freshman year of high school or nothing like that, but it was just like we young enough to be like, bro, was that really real? Type beat. So it was like one of those type of relationships. So we was together. He was calling me his girlfriend, I was calling him my boyfriend. Yeah, whatever. And like we had been together for like a couple of months, but like situations were changing. Like he was moving on to a different chapter of his life, and my shit wasn't done. And so, like, we were, like, getting ready for different things, and we were, like, just talking and everything like that. And, like, yeah, so, like, we were in different stages of our lives, even though, like, we weren't even a whole, like, age year apart. Like, it wasn't even, like, he was a couple months older than me, but we was, like, so different. But, like, yeah, like, he was cool. I liked him, he liked me. We talked a lot. We had a lot of things in common, like when it came to like things that we like to do, like like sports related, and you know, like things we watch, stuff like that. And so like we were cool, and I liked him, he liked me. We would hang out sometimes, and then like after a certain point in time, like once we were like together, he started coming to my house sometimes. And so he came over to my house. As I told you, other people live with me. But yeah, so he came over to my house, And the way it's set up at my house, because I have always lived with a bunch of people, it's just like, if you want something, you say something. like if you have a problem, you say something about it, because if not, you're not going to be heard, because bruh, it's like 80,000 people here. like you have 12 brothers and sisters, ma'am. Like, if you don't say, hey, like, my leg hurt, nobody's gonna know your legs hurt. There's so many other people here. And so, like, that's always how I've been raised. Like, if I have a problem, I'm like, hey, look, I got a problem, let's get this together. And so, like, he wasn't raised like that. It's like, he was like coddled, and it was always, are you okay? Do you need this? Like, do you have a problem? Like, do you want this? Would you like this? Like, his whole life, because he was the only one. And you know, like, moms, how they be with their sons, like, they be extra, and they just want to do so much for them and just love them with all of their little heart. And so it's just like, him being the only son, like, that's it. So it's just like, she always just gave him all of these things, and I don't know why he thought I was finna do all of that. And so, like, so he would be at my house, and we would just hang out. He'd be over there. If I'm eating, I'm just like, hey, you want something to eat? He like, yeah, or he like, no, we eat, or I just eat, whatever. I get something to drink, I'm like, hey, you want something to drink? He like, yeah, no, you want something to drink. I'm just like, hey, we watching this movie, like, what type of movie do you want to see? He say what type of movie he want to see. I pick a movie in that genre. Like that, okay? And I'm thinking, like, everything is fine, right? I'm thinking everything is fine, because, like, why wouldn't it? That sounds like normal situation, C or no. C or fucking no. And so, like, that seems like normal situations to me. And so, that's just how it would be. But then, like, after, like, some time had passed, I don't know, like, 2 months, like, one of my friends, like, came up to me and was just like, alright, so I'm gonna ask you a couple questions, and, like, just answer the questions for real. Like, you don't gotta think too hard about it. I'm just like, okay. And he was just like, so how many times have so-and-so been in your house? I'm just like, I don't know, probably like 5 times, maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna say like 5 times. And I'm just like, it could have been a little more, I don't know. And he's like, oh, okay. And then, like, walked away. That was the only question they asked, right? And so then, like, later on in the day, they, like, came up to me and just asked me, like, 2 more questions, like, oh, like, when you be inviting people over to your house, like, what do y'all do? And I'm just like, oh, we just watch movies usually. Because, like, back in the day, like, you had to have, like, DVDs. It wasn't, like, like, it wasn't really Netflix times for real. Netflix wasn't that popping. It was, like, Netflix was around, but it was, like, we was watching DVDs. So my mother had, like, this movie man for real. And we used to have all of the movies. We used to have all of the movies for real. And so, like, whenever a movie would come out, like, everybody would always just come to my house and we would watch the movie, and that's how it would be or whatever. Like, unless my mother was going to take us to the theaters, like, I always ended up having all of the movies. And so, I'm just like, yeah, we just watch movies for real. We chill for real. Like, oh, do y'all ever go out and get food or something like that? I'm like, nah, not for real. Not really. I'm just like, it's only, like, one food spot that's close to my house, but, like, we would need to, like, walk to get there. And, like, I'm not about to get a cold cut from the corner store. Like, I used to do that, but, like, I'm not at that age anymore where I want to do something like that. So I'm just like, yeah, like, usually it's just, like, you know, random food at my house, like, Costco type beat. And they like, all right, cool. And so, like, they ask me these questions and they just gone away. I'm like, all right. The end of the day come and they just like, all right, I wasn't really trying to make the block hot for real, but I'm going to just tell you what I heard. And I'm just like, what exactly did you hear? What did you hear? And so he's just like, yeah, so, like, your boyfriend was, like, really talking mad trash about you and saying, like, you were so unhospitable, like, you were the worst host ever, like, you never feed him, like, he be in your house starving, and he be so thirsty, and he don't be knowing what he gonna do next, and then I'm just like, what? And then, like, and so my friend just giving me more and more detail and just telling me all of this stuff, and I'm just like, bruh, he did not say that. No, he didn't. No, he didn't say that. And so, like, I'm getting mad. When I was at this age, I had an anger problem. So no, I was actually getting mad. And so I'm just like, bruh, he did not say that. So I was so heated. And, like, I don't know, probably, like, the next day or something, I had said something to him about it. Because, like, at that point in time, I already knew that I had an anger problem. So, like, when I had problems, I'm just like, I would speak the next day. I will not say nothing immediately because I'm going to curse you out and I'm going to hurt your feelings and we not going to be cool no more. And so, like, like, I was just like, yeah, I'm already knowing how I am, so excommunicate. And so I said goodnight to him and all that other good stuff. Like, shit was sweet. And the next day I was just like, all right, I got my words together, I got my thoughts together, I'm gonna say this real unmean, and I'm gonna get to the bottom of this because I want to know why he would say that. And like, he gave the person, my friend, was a very trustworthy person, and also he gave enough detail that I know that this nigga said what he said. he gave enough detail that I knew that this nigga said that. And so I'm just like, bro, why he trying to fry me to his friends? I'm just like, bro, like, I am a good host. Like, I'm nice. Like, I don't be like, what? And so I'm mad. And like, I talked to him, I'm just like, bro, so why did you tell all your little friends? Because it was all his little friends. It was like 10 niggas. Like, why did you tell all of these people this? Especially when he didn't plan on breaking up with me. Like, he was planning on being with me. Like we didn't break up shortly after that. Like, we were still together for like some time. So I'm just like, it's not even like you just like talking shit like how you talk shit about your exes with your friends. Like, he literally just was talking shit about me for like what reason? Like, I didn't know the motive and I was upset. I'm just like, bruh, like, what was the reason? What was the reason? Like, it was dumb. It was dumb to me. And so I'm just like, yeah, so like, why did you say that to your friends? And he was just like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm just like, so you're gonna try to act like you didn't say it? Because I already know that you said it. So like, why is you gonna try to act like you didn't say it? He's like, who told you that? And I'm just like, it don't matter. And the thing was, we had a lot of the same friends. So literally, it didn't have to be that friend that told me. It could have been somebody else. And I'm just like, bro, I'm not even gonna tell you. It don't matter. It don't matter who told me. It matters that I know. And damn, I gotta go to work. But yeah, it was like, it just matters that I know, and you geeked me. And so he's just like, nah, I'm just saying, like, cause like, you never, like, when we go into your house, as soon as we go into your house, you don't ask me if I need anything, or like, if I need to go to the bathroom and da-da-da. I'm just like, nigga, you had to go to the bathroom? If you gotta go to the bathroom, go to the bathroom. Fuck is you talking about? Like, you know where the bathroom at. It's 2 bathrooms in here. You know where the bathroom is. Like, what? Just say, hey, excuse me, and go to the bathroom. Nobody's stopping you. And like, at that time, like, it wasn't like grown men in my household. It was mostly like just women in my household. So it's not even like he thought he was gonna get beat up by my brother or nothing like that, because none of my brothers lived with me. Like, it was literally just my baby brother that lived with me, and he wasn't big as shit yet. So he was just regular big. He wasn't big as shit yet. So it was just like, what are you scared of? And so like, he made me so mad. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? And he was just like, yeah, I just felt like you just don't really care, and you just aren't really good at like having people at your house, and you're not really like he basically tried to make it seem like I wasn't a good person. And I'm like, because I didn't ask you, did you need to use the restroom when we first got in my house? Like, I'm confused. I'm just like, bruh, like, speak the fuck up. Like, if you have a problem, say something. Like, if you need something, tell me. Like, why am I supposed to just assume that you had to pee? I'm confused. I'm just like, why should I just assume that? And like, if we got food on the way to my house, like we were eating on the way to my house, once we get to my house, I'm not going to ask you, do you want something to eat? You just ate, and I seen you when you ate. Like, I'm not going to assume that you need something to eat, and I'm not hungry, so I'm not thinking about eating. And so, like, I didn't ask you, did you want something to eat when you first came to my house? Because I'm just like, why would you? Like, we literally, on the way over here, we got something, like, you were literally eating fries as you walked into my house. So I'm just so confused. I'm just like, why would you even say that? And like, he really fried my shit to his friends, and I don't even know everything that he said. But I'm just like, bruh, what? And so he really tried to make it make sense, and he really tried to just downplay like what he said to them. But then also, when he was telling me, he said it very crazy. And so I'm just like, if you said it the way you're saying it to me now, I should bang you. Because I'm just like, what? Like, you're being very over dramatic. That's how I felt at the time. I'm just like, bro, you're being very over dramatic. Like, and then I realized that like literally, like, his whole life, his mom just was always just like, do you need this, baby? Do you want this, baby? Like, oh, da da da. Like, bro, no, you're a grown ass man. Like, you're a grown ass man. Like, speak the fuck up, use your voice, say it with your chest, and let's move on. And so like, I had a problem. And so I'm just like, bruh, what we not going to do is talk shit about each other to other people. Like, if you got a problem, just be like, hey, I got this problem, and we can solve it. So like, now that I know that you're like this, now that I know that you feel like somebody should be asking you all these questions all the time, like you're 7 years old, I can do that for you. But what I'm telling you is, we don't do that over here. Like, I'm not going to ask you, do you want something to eat? I give you the food. Because you said yeah, but you just ate. And so I give you the food and you don't eat all of it. And there's 70 other niggas that live here with me. It was really only 5. But I'm just like, it's all these other people that live here with me. And I'm taking food out of their mouths to give it to you. And you just throwing it in the trash. You knew you didn't want that Hot Pocket. I made you 2 Hot Pockets and you ate half of one. And now it's going in the trash because it's old. Like, why would I even do that if you just ate? Like, it don't make any sense. Like, I'm not going to take something from somebody else to give it to you when you don't even want it. And it's just like, I have siblings, so I'm considerate of other people and what they got going on. Like, I'm not just going to take the food. And then my mother's just like, oh, I just bought stuff, so I don't got to go to the store. Everything cool tonight. And the whole time, it's nothing in the refrigerator. And now my little brother hungry. Like, and so now I got to go to the store. Or he just ain't going to eat. Like, I'm just like, bro, you gotta make it make sense. Like, you know that I live with other people. I'm being considerate of, like, what everybody else got going on. Like, I ain't grow up just wasting stuff and doing stuff like that. Like, bro, like, I have 12 siblings. So I'm just like, bro, like, what are you talking about? You're like, you're geeked. And so I was just like, all right, if that's how you want to be, then that's how you want to be. Like, if that's how you are, like, you need these things, then okay, cool. But, like, you didn't have to talk shit about me to your little friends. And so after that, I just knew how he was. After that, I just knew how he was. We didn't have no problems like that after that because I was just like, bruh, he gonna geek me. And so, like, every time he walked in my house, I'm like, do you have to pee? Do you want some water? Do that baby need food? Like, so extra because I'm just like, you really could have said something like, do you need a napkin? You know what? I'm going to get you a napkin and I'm going to get you paper towels. And you know what? I'm also going to bring you an extra bottle of water. Do you want some juice? The juice is not mine, but look, I'll risk it all, get you a cup of this juice that does not belong to me because I don't even drink juice. And you can have lemonade. Yes, you can have lemonade. Is that what you want? Like, bruh. And so that's just how I was for the rest of our relationship. Like, I have a balance now. Like, when people come to my house now, like, I be like, yeah, but that's because I live by myself. So it's not affecting anybody else. But, like, if what I'm doing is going to affect somebody else, I got to make sure it makes sense. Like, that's just how it was in my head. And so, like, yeah, I'm different now, but still, I'm just like, at that point in time, I was just like, this man is ridiculous. And he would always do stuff like that. Like, he always wanted everything handed to him always. Like, we would go out. And he just like, oh, well, I thought that we should do this. And I'm just like, well, I don't really want to do that. Now he got an attitude for the rest of the day. Because he's not used to not getting his way. Like, bro, what? And then he was so cheap because everything always got handed to him. Everybody always bought him everything and gave him everything. And so, like, when it came to, like, going out, he felt like he shouldn't have to spend no money. Like, bro, you outside. You got to spend money. You're outside. Bro, like, him, like, and I'm really not saying it's every only child. It's just what I have seen. So I don't really want to fry y'all as a whole. I really don't. But what I have seen, they all have been the same. Every single person that was the only child in their household, aka the only child, they act like this. I'm not giving you anything. like you need to do something for the things that you are given. Like, no, like, that's what we're not about to do. And so that's just how he was as a person in general. Like, he was very selfish. He was very selfish, and he always wanted somebody to give him something. Like, it's not like he didn't give things, but it's just like he just always wanted to be given things, like, all the time. Like, I don't know. It's just like he always just expected things to already be lined up for him and for him to just, you know, just come and just sit and just, like, I don't know why, but that's just how he was. Like, he was, like, pampered. He was like a little kitten, always getting rubbed. Like, that was his whole lifestyle. And, like, he wanted me to do the rubbing now. And I'm just like, you are grown. You better know that I'm not about to do every single thing for you. You need to be doing something for yourself. Like, what are you doing for yourself? Let me know. Like, and so that's just how it was. And so I was like, we didn't stay together forever. Y'all know we ain't stay together forever. But it was just like, dating him just showed me, like, just showed me a different side of people, because I always dated other people that had hella siblings, and so we kind of thought alike. Like, you know, we used to taking care of other people, but also like we can accept help. Like, I'm a middle child, so like that's just how it be for real. Like, and so we give enough attention, but we don't give too much. It's like a balance for real. Like, that's what I always had. But like, then dating him, I'm just like, bro, you think the world revolves around you? You really do. And that's not good. The world does not revolve around you, baby. You are one speck on this painting. You need to know that. like you're a very gorgeous speck, you know? And very important. Like, the painting wouldn't be the same without you. But it's still a whole ass painting, baby. It's a whole ass painting. and like, let's be fucking for real. So that's basically how it was. The whole relationship. And so we ended up like not talking, but then we was cool, but then we wasn't talking. and so like he's doing great. You know, he has changed a lot. I've noticed the changes that he has made, and they are for the better, because he really did think that like he was the main character in everybody's story for some odd reason. But like the odd reason was because he was the only child. And so like I never dated an only child ever again in life, y'all. That scarred me. Because I never had dated somebody that really just talked shit about me to their friends. Like, who does that? Because I don't do that. Like, I don't even like. I'll wait a little second before I say something. And then also I always downplay it, because I'm just like, I don't want anybody to think that like you're terrible. Like, in my head, if I think like you're the worst, you're terrible, I'm just like, they alright. Like, I'm just, that's it. Like, I'm not about to talk no crazy stuff about anybody to my friends. Like, I'm not putting in a group chat of 6 motherfuckers. Yo. like no, I'm not ready to do that. But like, that was the type of person he was. And I'm just like, bro, you terrible. Like, soon as something didn't go his way, he had a fit. And like, he did that a lot throughout our relationship. Soon as something didn't go his way, he had a fit. And then even after we broke up, like, and I ended up being his friend, he still ended up having fits randomly. And I'm just like, you grown. Grow up. You're not 7. But he was 7 as hell. And I'm not even gonna lie. And that 7ness continued. And I feel like in more recent years, he was cool. Like, the last time I talked to him, he was cool, but he didn't ever have a situation where he could show his 7ness. So I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I'ma just hope for his sake that he not like that no more, and he done grown the fuck up, because that was very immature. That was childish, and I ain't like it. So yeah, dating an only child was not for me. Okay, and I'm not gonna ever do it again. I think the next is the last. I mean, I'm not like, nah, but. For all the only children, just know, y'all matter. Y'all are important. But y'all are not the only people in the goddamn world. And the world does not revolve around you. Okay? You are not the sun, motherfucker. You are just one of the many stars in the galaxy, okay? Dang. But for me, Storytime Tish, the tea is over. Peace and love.